Just, we back from the underground to the airwaves. Got my man Top behind the camera. We're here today to talk to Mr. Tracey Syphax. He's a contractor, he's a business owner, he's an entrepreneur, and also a community activist. And his biggest thing is teaching some young brothers and sisters about being entrepreneurs themselves, about going out there and getting yours. Yo, here we go. Gonna holler at Mr. Syphax real quick. Yo, check us out from the underground to the airwaves. Your boy Just, your boy Top. Let's go talk to him. Mr. Syphax, once again, welcome to the underground, from the underground to the airwaves. You know, we're here to tell your story. Matter of fact, real quick, introduce yourself to the people out there.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Justin. Good to see you again. Tracey Syphax, from the block to the Boardroom, president of Phax Group Construction and Design, also managing partner of Phax Group Real Estate Developers, located here, 667 Martin Luther King Boulevard in Trenton, New Jersey.
So you finally found yourself getting into as far as the construction, or you wanted to do something else, or how did that?
No, I think, and that's a good question too, Justice. I think it was actually the thought. As I talked about in my book, you know, I grew up around a lot of black entrepreneurs. I grew up in the 70s on Stuyvesant Avenue, where we owned every business on Stuyvesant Avenue, about 9 or 11 of them. So I came up under that era. I actually worked for 2 of them. 4G Supermarket, I worked there in the deli, in the meat department, you know, when I was 13, 14 years old. And then I ended up working at Clate's Bar as a bartender when I was 16. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that gave me a up close and personal look at black entrepreneurs, know what they do, see how, you know what I mean? So when I came home from jail, you know, I've always felt that I had the entrepreneurial spirit. I just did it in a negative way.
Right.
I always knew about marketing. I always knew about advertising. You know what I mean? I always knew about customers. You know what I mean? I always knew about security. Exactly. You know what I mean? So all those things we learned. So, you know, coming home, that was my, one of my goals was to basically, you know, I had already had a trade. So when I came home, it was basically get a job, save some money, invest in a business, start a business. So that was the plan from day one coming home from jail. And from 93 to the middle of 95, that's what I basically did. I started my business in 95. My first business. How you get the business started? Like, actually, the first business. What was it? How did you get it started? Yeah, the first business, because of the fact that I had a roofing background, I was already working as a roofer, but I was working from 5 o'clock in the morning. We were getting off 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So that basically left me from 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock on in the summertime, where it don't get dark to 8 or 9.
Right.
Basically left me another 8 or 9 hours to do other stuff. So that's when I started doing a lot of side jobs. So I started doing side jobs. I started, you know, making money. Now I'm already getting a check.
Right.
But now I'm getting another check for these side jobs. So now instead of, you know, using my money that I'm working to buy equipment, to get my first truck, all those things, I'm using that money that I'm accumulating on the side jobs.
Right.
And it was basically just reinvesting back into the business. You know, buying tools, buying equipment. You know what I mean? Ladders, generators. So when I quit my job, I had everything already set up.
So you all set to go. And a lot of people don't understand that as far as investing back into the business before you make it money.
Absolutely, yeah. See, and that's sometimes we get twisted about the way business really is. Business is a sacrifice. You know what I mean? If you're an entrepreneur, man, you got to give up some stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give you a prime example. Coming home from jail, you know, first thing I want to do, I had a little adoption, or what I had before I went to jail, a 240Z or something like that. So when you come home, you want to floss again, you want to get you know, a nice little car.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to make a decision, do I buy the Cadillac or do I buy the pickup truck?
Right.
You know what I mean? What you want? Do you want, you know, the floss and show folks you back? Or do you want to work on something and build something? So I had to make that decision. First investment had to be a pickup truck. You know what I mean? So it's about sacrifice, man. And you got to give up some stuff in order to make it happen.
Definitely. So you said you started the first business in 95.
Mm-hmm.
That was the roofing and everything.
Yeah, that was the roofing business, and then we took that and evolved that into you know, all types of constructions, from kitchens to baths to decks to snow removals. You know what I mean? And basically just spun off of the roofing trade. You know what I mean? Not that I know how to do all that. I know how it's done.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you know, in business, If you don't know how it's done, you hire somebody that knows how to do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Put together a team that way everything gets done.
Absolutely, and get it done. So we evolved from the roofing company into a little bit of everything, and then within 6 years, grew that to $1 million business. You know what I mean? Then started the real estate development company, and just started taking the money from the construction company and investing in the real estate. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's all of, you know what I mean, how bad you want it, where do you want your money to go, do you want to take a vacation? I know guys that know my trade, and, you know, they make $1,200, they take 3 weeks vacation. Until they broke again, and then, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it all depends on what you want, Just. You know what I mean? Do you want it that bad to sacrifice and say, okay, no, I'm not going to take a vacation for 6 or 9 months. I'm going to keep on getting this money. I'm going to keep on reinvesting back in my business. And that's some choice that people make, and you know, people that are successful make the right choices. People that are not successful, they make the wrong choice.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mentioned, actually, you said we a couple of times. So I know you started on your own, but you had to put together a team to actually build the business up to where it's at now to be successful. Are you partners with anybody now, or are you still?
No, I've got other business interests that I've got partners in. You know, the entrepreneurship course that From the Block to the Boardroom teaches. I have a partner in CJ Meaning, who's a professor, instructor. He's taught entrepreneurship for 28 years. So with me having the street knowledge, he's got the book knowledge.
Right.
He's taught it for 28 years. He started a nonprofit that taught entrepreneurship and grew that from 0 to 28 million before he left. So that's one of my partners in teaching the class. You know what I mean? Because one of the things about having partners, you want to make sure partner got some added value.
Right.
He has that added value. So just having him, even when we taught the class in DC, you know, to have him in the class and to have me in the class teaching 15 ex-offenders, they was getting both, you know, they was getting the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
They was getting the street knowledge of how I was able to do it, and he was giving them the academics of entrepreneurship. So it made for a good course. So, you know, that's one of my partners there. As you know, I had a restaurant and a club down in South Carolina.
Oh no, we didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
Tell us about that.
Oh, down in South Carolina, yeah, down in South Carolina. We did that for about 9 months, man, and you know, things kind of happened, and it didn't go the way we wanted it to go, and you know, we took a little bath on it, but it was a great opportunity and a great experience. You know what I mean? I don't take every loss as a loss. I take it as a learning experience.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah, so I learned a lot about South Carolina, probably more than I want to know. But it was a great opportunity to get down there to run a business for 8-9 months. I was actually running my companies here and then going to South Carolina on Thursday night and just staying Thursday to Sunday, running that business down there, and then coming back here Sunday night.
So
absolutely.
No days off.
Nah, not back then. Nah, it wasn't any days off. That was pretty much 8-9 months straight.
So would you say that because it only lasted 9 months? Would you say that came from the lack of knowledge for that business?
Well, I've never been in the restaurant bar business, even though, like I said, I did work for a bar business before. But yeah, that right there was more of the area, not knowing the area like we should have known it, not having the right clientele at the established that we should have had. And when I came down there to actually take it over, that's what I had to try to do. I had to try to reestablish and rebrand an establishment that was already branded by my partner for 6 months.
Right.
So me trying to do that in the middle of trying to get the mayor and the police chief on my side and saying, listen, you know, we're going to make this work. We're going to have a nice place where people can come have a nice time, have dinner, you know what I mean, and go home without all the riffraff.
Right.
But you know, it was tough to try to get it back up started to where it should have been when I got down there. So we only had like a 90-day probation, and so after the 90-day probation, we pretty much had to phase it out because it was not going to renew the license.
Oh, okay.
So, but like I said, it was a great experience, man. It lets me know how that works down south, and you know, just to know that you know, entrepreneurship, you can take it anywhere. That's one thing about it. You know what I mean? No matter where you go, I can go to Texas, I can go to California. You know, business is business. It's 20 lessons and 40 concepts.
Jay-Z said it best. He said, you can't do it anywhere on God in this earth, and I value my worth. I make my worth.
Absolutely.
I mean, as an entrepreneur, you go, you know, anywhere to, you know, to establish yourself because you have that knowledge.
Absolutely.
You know, and start a business, or you know, not even start with, even relocate the business you currently have to another location and establish it at the location. Which is my next question is, so Did you take that on as a challenge, more or less, as far as the bar restaurant business, or is something that you wanted to venture off to? Like, did you feel like it was more of a challenge than anything?
Well, you know, when you invest thousands of dollars in it, you want to, you know, you definitely want a return on your investment. So, you know, I invested a lot of money in it too, but I was expecting a return on that investment. But yeah, you know, challenges, you know, that's all part of business. One thing about business and one of the greatest attributes that I believe of a good entrepreneur is somebody that has a low tolerance for risk.
Right.
You know what I mean, somebody can say, you know, I'm gonna take a chance. You know what I mean? And you know, as ex-offenders and folks that are coming home from jail, we've taken chances all our life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, you know, if I can stand on the corner with that dynamite in my pocket, knowing that I can get knocked off, you know what I mean, I can go down to South Carolina and take a chance to open up a business. And I look at all life stuff like that, and that's when I tell people, you know, 17 years in the street, 21 years in business has given me a perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's very broad. So I can look at it, you know what I mean, a lot more different than somebody else could look at it. So going down south, like I said, and taking a chance of opening up a business and taking that risk, that's, you know, I've done that all my life, man.
Exactly. You just come from the streets.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the streets, because we know that you were real big on teaching, you know what I mean, you know, brothers and sisters about entrepreneurs, being entrepreneurs, starting your own business. And I mean, we talked about a little bit about that real quick. Is that a passion for you to make sure, like, you know, your people?
Oh yeah.
Especially people nowadays. I mean, you see, you know, we both grew up in Trenton. We see times have changed a lot, and people need to be taught, like, all over again,
right,
how to do, you know what I'm saying, better, do better things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so besides the business itself, is that one of your true passions to really give back?
Yeah, I think those two, Justice, are two of my passions. One of them is entrepreneurship. As you know, with the Mind in Our Business program, I've done that for 21 years, teaching 6th and 7th graders how to start and run a business. You know, Mind in Our Business, man, is ranked top 10 in the country by Johns Hopkins University 2 years in a row, 2010 and 2011, as one of the best entrepreneurship programs in the country. We've taught over 3,000 children here in the Trenton Public Schools how to start and run a business. So that's always been a passion of mine. But brothers and sisters that are coming home from prison and not getting a second chance at life has always been a passion of mine also, because I've had brothers sit in that same seat that you're sitting in and tell me, listen, Tracy, I need a job. And dead serious, Tracy, I need a job. You know what I mean? I don't want to go back to what I used to do. But everywhere I'm going, I'm filling out applications and talking about you got to check the box. I mean, I can't get a job nowhere. I'll work for minimum wage. I'll sweep the floor. I'll pick up garbage. I'll do anything. Unfortunately, I can't hire everybody that comes through my door.
Right.
So over the years of me being in business, that has become a passion of mine. So if I can't hire you here, my job is to go out there as a businessman and as somebody that that can get in a lot of rooms in that arena, to be able to go out here and make change for brothers and sisters that don't get that second chance. So Ban the Box, the Fair Chance business pledge that I work with the White House, and we started out with that with the White House. We started out with 26 businesses, and now we have over 300 businesses across the country, Hershey, Google, all saying that we'll hire people with background issues. So if I can't hire you, my job is to go out there and make it easier for you to get a second chance back in life. So yeah, those are my two passions, man, entrepreneurship and re-entry and helping brothers reintegrate, because I believe that through economics and entrepreneurship, we can make a way for ourselves.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Once we be able to control the economics of our community, we can educate our own kids. Once we control the economics of our community, we provide our own public safety. Because I'm not gonna let nobody do nothing on Martin Luther King and Ingham Avenue. Not while I'm here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He might do something across the street, but this is what I'm saying, that once we own the economics of our community, then we control our community. But as long as Poppy, and not saying anything against Spanish people when they open up businesses in our community, I don't blame anybody for seeing a need and fulfilling that need.
Exactly.
What I'm saying is that we have to start to do that. And we have to have that mindset, because when we start to own the business in our community, we control the education, we control the economics, and we control public safety in our own community.
Exactly right. And at one point in time, a lot of other black communities, Trenton was like that. Trenton, majority of the businesses in Trenton was black owned. From like I said, from the delis to the liquor stores.
Our Blackman's Boutique. Oh yeah.
All that was black
Absolutely.
owned. What you think? What you think was caused the trend for people for that lack of ownership in the community to start? How do you think it started, or where do you think it came from?
Well, I think one of the things that, and we do it, and you know, it's not just us. Other people do it also. You know, we tell our kids, go to school, graduate, get a degree, go to college, get a job. Go to school, graduate, get a degree, go to college, get a job. We never teach our kids to go in business. We never teach them that entrepreneurship is an option for them. So if we're not teaching that, our kids believe that I gotta go to school, I gotta graduate, I gotta go to college, I gotta get a job. If I don't do those 4 things, I fail.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't be like that. So I think one of the things that we gotta do is be able to start to talk about entrepreneurship in our household. And we do it on smaller scales. We sell DVDs, we sell CDs. I mean, we sell incense, we sell oils. We do that.
Little side hustles.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Side hustles, man. Come on, every brothers that you see out here selling stuff out of their trunk, selling stuff out of their cars, selling, that have a side hustle. Typically, probably most of them have a record.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, they're not going back to jail.
That's the whole
So
point.
the job that they got might not pay what they used to making. So they got a side hustle or 2. You know what I mean? And it works for us. So it's not like we don't do this.
Right.
But one of the things that I try to teach our people, and I think is so important, is that we don't look at business. We look at business today, okay, just got my income tax check, $5,000, I just got lawsuit money, I got $15,000. I'm gonna go up here and open up this boutique down here on the boulevard, and I'm gonna sell, clothes and, everything out of that boutique. But we never do the marketing on that area. We never do the announcement on that area. We never look at the medium income of that area. We never look at who's going to be your customer, who's going to come in there every day and spend money up. We just open up business. And typically we've been in business for 6 months, close up, somebody come in and do the same thing again. Business for 6 months, close up, and somebody come in and do the same. Only one making money is the guy that owns the building.
Exactly.
Absolutely, because we don't do the work up front. And the analysis and the research up front. And right now, in this age of information, you can Google anything you want. Everything that you need is right there at your fingertips. You know what I mean? So we got to do the research. We got to do the business plan. We got to do the marketing plan. See, we skip all past that. So we go straight to the business.
To the business, yeah. Don't
absolutely.
That's what part of I feel about, like, people don't want to put in the work, and that part is the work.
Absolutely, yes.
You got to learn accounting. You got to at least to start off with anyway, because you're not going to be able to afford
the higher one.
The higher one, yeah.
Absolutely.
So you got to do your own accounting. You got to do your own marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do your own little minor repairs if you have to.
Yes.
So you got to learn all them things, and people don't want to do the work. That's that. So I think it's another problem. They got the money. They see the vision. They know what they want to do, but don't want to put the work in. Dedication.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that part of the infrastructure as far as lack of ownership now, as far as businesses, that people don't have the dedication to put the work in like that?
Yeah, well, the majority of people that go in business fail. You know what I mean? It's only, a percentage that succeed, but it's those percentage that, it just goes down. I think though it goes down to, for me, Justin, the way I look at it, period, is that it all depends on how bad the next person wants.
Right.
I didn't go to college. I didn't go to business school. But you can put me in a boardroom or in a corner. I'm going to outthink you, I'm going to out-hustle you, and I'm going to outwork you. And I can do those things. I can outthink you, I can out-hustle you, and I can outwork you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So those 3 things right there, and I didn't have to go to college to learn that. That's who I am. So I think you put me up against anybody that's been to college with a 10-year, 4-year degree, and put me in the same room with him, I'm out-hustle you, I'm out-work you, and I'm out-think you.
You'll come out on top regardless.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I believe everybody has that. You know what I mean? It depends on how bad you want it. You know what I mean? I got people that know the same trade that I know. People that I started this trade with 20, 30 years ago. They like making $1,000 and taking 3 weeks vacation. I like making a lot of money, period. Space, believe a lot of that boils down to how bad somebody wants it and how much work you're willing to put in to achieve it. And I think if you want it bad enough, you're going to go out here and make it happen, man. And I'm going to give you a prime example at the rally, reentry awareness at the rally that we did on Saturday. We brought the brother that was in our class, Lorenzo Stewart.
Yeah.
You know, she took a bullet when he was 11 years old, paralyzed in a wheelchair. You know, got busted with a gun. Now he's got a record and in a wheelchair.
Right.
I mean, he was in our class. You know,
We got 2 strikes in this.
Oh, he used to tell us in the classroom. He said, Tracey. He said every time whenever I put in a job application, I didn't get the job. He said I couldn't tell whether they discriminated because I'm in a wheelchair or was it because I had a record. He said, but either way it was going, I can't get a job.
Right.
So entrepreneurship is my only last hope. He did 12 weeks into the program. Started, and one thing about business is that you see a need, you supply that need. That's what it's all about. As a person in a wheelchair, he realized how tough it was for him to get around Washington, D.C.
Right, his own community, yeah.
Absolutely, in a wheelchair. You know what I mean? So he started a paratransit business. Just got a $45,000 loan, 3 trucks, 5 employees. He just graduated from the class in October. You know what I mean? But he went through 12 weeks. He learned the 20 lessons and the 40 concepts of entrepreneurship that we teach. He knew how bad he had to do this. You know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean? This was, and it's true. You know, a wheelchair with a record, come on, man. Black, wheelchair and a record?
Yeah. Pretty much people count you out.
Absolutely. So I think, and he finished top 3 in our class. Out of 15 individuals, he finished top 3. But I think it boiled down to Lorenzo wanted it real bad.
He's witnessed drug deals, murders, and was even paralyzed by bullets on the streets of D.C. Now he is seeing the streets in a whole new way from the front seat of his new transportation business.
Lorenzo Stewart is beating the odds and becoming an entrepreneur thanks to a little help from the district. Deborah Alfarone took a ride with this graduate from a special program.
This is where I was injured at, right here.
Right here.
In front of this car, yeah. We was popped right where this white van is at.
Right in front of Andy.
Yeah, and we went in, ordered the food, came back. When I got in the car, someone shot the car up, and from that result, I ended up being a paraplegic. Which
Lorenzo Stewart was 15. He's now 41, telling us about his front row seat to violence on the streets of D.C. Later on, he was a club promoter.
to protect myself, I decided, every time I have an event, to bring a firearm to protect myself just in case somebody tried to take from me, rob me, or whatever the case may be.
Police pulled him over and arrested him. He says he served time for having an unregistered gun.
It's so hard to get jobs, and I don't know if it was based off the disability or if it was based off the criminal record.
Lorenzo signed up for DC's Aspire to Entrepreneurship program. It's a partnership with 2 district agencies and an organization called Changing Perceptions. They all helped Lorenzo get a loan, get office space, hire drivers, and start VOW Transportation to help people who need it get around. The name came from his son.
And he said, Daddy, thanks for vision and winning, which you always tell me to do when I'm playing sports.
Lorenzo says he has contracts coming in and he's provided rides for charity, but he also says he wants to inspire kids on the streets that if he can rise above, they can too.
I can't change the world, but as long as if I can get the 1, 2, 3 people that need help, need support, I feel like I did my job.
Deborah Alfarone, WUSA 9.
You can be a great role model. I mean, it just goes to show that everybody has the intellect. Everyone has the capacity. You just got to put in
stuff like that need to go viral. Or they won't know.
Oh, no, that's about business. No, we support getting a promotion at a job more than we support somebody starting a business. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying, man. And I do it all my time. I put up stuff about business opportunities. You get 2 or 3 likes. I put up something foolish, you jokers get 200 likes. But it depends. Like I said, it depends on what you into, man.
Right, exactly.
Our folks, for some reason, we just, and like I said, I think it comes from the fact, like I said, we don't see enough black businesses in our community.
Not anymore.
And that's where I think a lot of this stuff comes from. If you don't see it, if you don't see what it looks like, you never can know that you can be it, or you never know that you can inspire to be it.
Right.
And because our folks don't get an opportunity to see it on an ongoing basis all the day, black cleaners, black grocery store, black bodegas, black, black Chinese food place. You know what I mean? If we're not seeing that, we
get the same food they cook because all they do is
they cook our food. The Chinese man cooking soul food.
I haven't seen it.
Absolutely, and good too. You know what I mean? And you put a black person in the kitchen. We can open up a Chinese restaurant, put a Chinese man in the kitchen.
Exactly, but it'll be our restaurant.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, bro. When it comes to business, I don't look at it no difference. And when I look at other folks, and see, when I started my business, I worked for my boss, white guy, John Rowley. I got that picture, John. I think it's out there. But John Rowley gave me my shot in '93. Dropped out of school when he was in 10th grade. Ex-alcoholic. When I hooked up with him, he was running a $30 million roofing company. He was making $30 million a year. You know what I mean? 10th grade dropout. Never went to college. You know what I mean? That's and even though I'm looking at a white man, I don't see no difference.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially when he started telling me, Tracy, man, because that's how I ended up getting the job. He said, well, what you was in jail for? You know what I mean? And when conversation started, and I said, John, you know what I mean? I was sold drugs, I used to get high, changed my life around, married, boom. He said, listen, man. He said, I dropped out of school. Then he started telling me his story. And once we started sharing stories, we connected. He said, no, I'm going to give you an opportunity. And he brought me in, taught me the trade, also taught me the business side of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But once again, I'm looking at a white man. I don't see no difference between him and me.
Exactly.
I don't see no difference.
Well, he can do, I can do, probably
absolutely, absolutely. Get up in the morning, put his pants on, and say, well,
exactly. So, a few years ago, you sat down, thought it was a great idea to write a book.
Yeah.
One thing, two couple questions. What inspired that? And what is in the book? Like, what you wanted to tell people?
Right.
What you wanted, what story you wanted to tell people?
Yeah, and when I wrote From the Block to the Boardroom, Just, and when I wrote this book, one of my things that I really wanted to do was be able to show brothers how I made that transition. I thought that was very important. I thought being able to give them an example of someone who has went from the block to the boardroom, someone who stood on that same corner, took those same chances, and took those same risks that you're taking out there, but have now transitioned from that life into the business and the boardroom life, and how I made that transition in order to encourage anybody else. The last chapter From the Block to the Boardroom is the blueprint.
Right.
I mean, where I actually ran down step by step how I started my business and how anybody else could do the same thing. So when I released this in 2012, that was my whole goal. My whole goal was not to get out here and be $1 million seller, even though that would have been nice.
Right.
My thing was to get my message not only out in the Trenton area, but now my book is written in prisons all across this country. You know what I mean? And that's where my sales come in, and that's what's more important to me than anything else, because brothers inside prison are reading this book. I just had a brother, Jackie Robinson is his name actually, that I met over in Philadelphia. He was supposed to be here for Reentry Awareness Month to tell his story also, but he couldn't make it. But Jackie Robinson, I met this brother in Philly 3 months ago. I'm sitting in the audience, we did a reentry conference. He stood up, talked about how he was locked up, how he read a book in jail, came home, started a construction business. Now he's buying real estate all around his community, and he's teaching other brothers the construction trade.
Right.
When he got done, he told me that book that he read was From the Block to the Boardroom. You know what I mean? So now here's a prime example. Brother over in Philly doing exactly the same thing I did, construction, real estate. You know what I mean? I'm teaching entrepreneurship, he teaching the construction trade. You know what I mean? And that was the whole reason of me writing that book. The whole reason.
That inspiration for you to do more, like I know you got stuff going on too. You got like a little film you're working on or something like that.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. Well, we've done a couple of films. We did the both documentaries, Elementary Genocide 1 and 2. My brother Raheem Shabazz and Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Boris Watkins, Dr. Steve Perry, a lot of folks, Killer Mike. You know what I mean? So we all did 1 and 2 actually. Of Elementary Genocide. Then our latest documentary that we just released September of 2016 called Incarcerating Us, and basically dives into the prison system, how the war on drugs started, how the prison population exploded in the 80s, the war on drugs and all those things, and really laying out the argument for the legalization and the end of drug prohibition.
Right.
Because the same way we look at alcohol prohibition, when Elliot and all those guys was running around in Chicago spraying corners,
Atlantic City,
Atlantic City, when all that stuff was going on with alcohol prohibition, you had the underground cells, you had folks cutting alcohol with all kinds of chemicals, folks getting sick, cirrhosis of the liver, you had all that stuff going on during alcohol prohibition. But once they legalized alcohol, guess what? All that stopped.
Yeah.
All that stopped. So when you look at 700 murders in Chicago, all that stuff is attributed to the drug culture.
Exactly.
So until we take and trust me, I know from experience, until we take the economics out of that market, we're going to continue to have these drive-by shootings. We're going to continue to have our babies, 11 and 10 years old, being caught out in gunfire because drug dealing is never going to stop. When you arrest a drug dealer in the corner, drug dealing doesn't stop.
Exactly.
You just create a job opportunity.
Somebody else, exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. So long as we continue down that road, and folks keep saying, no, you can't legalize. Listen, they've legalized drugs in other countries and been very successful at doing it. You know what I mean? Until we start promoting this idea of ending drug prohibition, we're going to continue to have the same things that we have in our communities every day.
Exactly.
You know, terrorist drug wars. You know what I mean? Same thing with the junkie. When the junkie needs a habit, he goes steal from grandma and auntie and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? So until we start controlling that, man, we're going to continue to have all that stuff in our community.
And statistically speaking, alcohol kills more people than drugs do.
Absolutely. But
it's legal.
But it's legal.
And
Absolutely.
cigarettes are legal.
Absolutely. So it's the same way they're legalizing, and it's slowly happening. You know, marijuana is being legalized all across the country. First it's one state, then it's 2 states, then it's 3 states. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's slowly but surely. New Jersey's going to be up, I believe, next year with the new governor coming in. He's for legalizing marijuana.
Why not?
You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is that once you take drugs and create drugs and treat drugs as a public health issue versus criminalizing it, we begin to help those that are addicted to it, help the addicts that are addicted to it.
Because it's like alcohol, a lot of drugs, your body comes craving for it, or it needs it to function.
Absolutely.
I watched a lot of movies. Matter of fact, Trenton, for a long time, I remember 5 points was a real big dose. And when I was a little kid, this is one time I tell people like all the time, like I would never ever throw. Like, I sold drugs when I was younger. You know what I mean? I did my numbers, whatever. But I never smoked anything besides weed, whatever, because we're seeing these people out there on the corners at 5 points, and junkies, and how they used to fold all the way over to the ground. You just get a shot at me.
Oh, absolutely.
So whatever they're using, I don't want that. I ain't running that.
Absolutely.
I found out what it was. I was like, and it actually, I never sold dope either. I sold crack cocaine, all that. I mean, that's another life, but that drug itself always kind of had me like, nah, I ain't.
I don't want to mess with that.
Yeah,
absolutely, because absolutely,
all angles,
and this always was the harsher of the drugs. You know, cocaine was you had the guy in the 3-piece suit, doing the cocaine sniffing, and you cool, you smoking a cigarette, and then you had the junkie, like you said, nodding and ready to fall on his face. You know what I mean? So it was a different, there's a different type, but just like pills and opium and marijuana and a lot of other illegal drugs. Alcohol is all the same systems.
Right.
You know what I mean? And once you start treating drugs as a public health issue versus criminalizing it, we will begin to roll back mass incarceration. We'll begin to reduce violence in our community, which when we reduce violence in our community, it opens up the doors for economic growth and economic development.
Exactly.
Because ain't nobody coming in here and folks is shooting bullets through the window. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Nobody but folks that look like me and you. You know what I mean? Because like I tell people all the time, I've been on the boulevard at least 12, 13 years now.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have a problem being here. I don't have a problem being here. Folks don't mess with my stuff. I get a lot of respect up here. You know what I mean? But if we were to eliminate that, it opened up future opportunities for economic development all across our urban cities. So, we got to start talking. We got to start having this conversation, Justin. That's one of the things that probably gets me more upset than anything is that we refuse to even have this conversation.
That's the problem. People don't want to talk about it.
Absolutely.
And if you don't want to talk about it, you don't better face the problem.
Absolutely.
And they can go back to like you said, go back to the entrepreneurs. Like the problem was at a long period of time was go to school, go to college, get a job, work for the rest of your life until you,
retire, get benefits.
You know what I mean? It wasn't never a conversation where you know what, you can be your own boss.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Take the opportunity to start your own business. You know, to create something. I know I didn't get that talk when I was younger.
Me neither.
You know?
Me neither. Absolutely. The talk that I got, you can go ahead and sell this weed.
Nah, I didn't get that talk either until, matter of fact, nah, you know, my talk was a little bit different. I was a little hard-headed as a nigga. I started doing that shit. After the fact, you know, my dad was real militant. He grew up on the boulevard, 7 brothers, you know, mom and dad. He went to the went to the Navy, you know, came home, worked for the steel mill for years, and then from there went to work for Trenton State. So he's always had that military mentality. You know what I mean? So of course, what I was taught, like we said, was go to school, get good grades. My thing was you be the first one in the family to go to college.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was never the first one.
You first one to hold the business.
Yeah, never that. You know, and it's crazy how things turn out because that's all I want to do now is own my own business.
Absolutely.
I can't stand working for other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, it's funny because I was on my way over here. I told my brother I was on my way to do the interview with Mr. Syphax over at the spot over there on the corner. He's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like I said, he had an interview. He said, what, do bookkeeping? I said, no, nigga, I'm going to interview. Job. I'm trying to create my own. You know, and that's the thing that's we lacking. You know what I'm saying that's really, as myself anyway, I'm inspired by you because you preach that to the fullest, and you don't hear that in the communities anymore.
Yeah.
But everywhere else, it's taught.
Oh, absolutely.
Not only preach, but it's taught.
From the cradle.
Own your own.
Absolutely.
From the house to the store that you buy your own groceries from. You own it. You know. Speaking of ownership, I know you got a couple of jobs you're working on. You told a nice little story. You know what I'm saying? And me, like I said, I know I'm inspired by it. But I want to see some of the work that you do. You know, that's why we're here. See that work. I mean, everybody talking about for the past 20 plus years.
Yeah. That's we can talk. Let's try a couple of spots. We can take a look at one of the construction sites that I got a little going on. Maybe take a ride through one of the neighborhoods. Show you my house that I built. We you know, like I said, that's one of the things about doing your work in this 7.5 square mile.
Right.
You can actually see the results of some of the stuff that you've been able to do.
That's great. Let's take a ride and check it out.
Absolutely. Cool. This is why I grew up in this area here. You know, over here, Hoffman Avenue. I lived on Hoffman Avenue for a number of years, about 16 years there. My wife, we were going together back then. So, didn't want to move from West Trenton, so that's the reason why, like I said, I built the house out of West Trenton, so I'll take y'all over and show you my crib over there. Okay. Oh yeah. Like I said, I was born in Asbury. Asbury is my hometown. My dad still lives there. My daughter's first house, that's her house over there. She bought that one over there. So my dad, my hometown is Asbury. It's good to go back to Asbury. Like I said, I just did last week. And to see all the development and see things happening. You know, when I know, Asbury, is just like Trenton.
Exactly.
You know, Urban City's got its problems, but it's good to go back and see the progress. You know what I mean? Because I know what it was.
They took down the apartments right there by the train station.
Right by the train station, closed them down. Yeah. They still got one other one over there, but that one that's to the left of the train station.
Right.
It's all boarded up, man.
Yeah, I remember going out there when I was younger. A friend of mine, stepdad was going out that way. And we caught the train up there a couple of times and out there, do a little dirt, whatever, sometimes you have to travel with it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You can't be too comfortable and not be able to get up out of your environment. Exactly. I learned that, same thing when I was young. I was down in Baltimore doing stuff. You know what I mean? I was up in Newark doing stuff. I ain't had no problem with getting outside my comfort zone when I was doing wrong, so definitely don't want to have no, anxiety about doing it now.
Exactly. So you have traveled the country, you've been all over the country.
Oh yeah, I've been and in the last. Been able to travel a lot. That's one of the good things about being an entrepreneur. Also, you get opportunity to get outside your city and visit a lot of other cities. New Orleans, Atlanta, Miami. You know what I mean? Texas. I'll be out in I'm in Boston. Actually, I'm in Boston this weekend. I'm speaking in Boston for 2 days, so I'll be in Boston Saturday and Sunday. Next month, I'll be in San Francisco for 3 days with the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. We're gonna go out there and screen my documentary, and the people that played me and two of the other stars of the documentary are gonna go out there and do a panel discussion. So I'll be out in San Francisco. But yeah, getting out and being able to get out and see other people, see other cities, see what other folks are doing, and you come back here and you wonder why you ain't, you know what I mean? But that's, if you don't leave here, you don't get to see that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So a lot of folks that don't get an opportunity to get outside Trenton think that, this is normal. You know what I mean? But it's not normal. And I tell folks, it's not normal. I ain't seen it. It ain't what you're supposed to be. We can do better than that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so I used to walk this way. I used to go to Junior 3 down the hill. So living out West Trenton, I used to walk up this way, going to school.
So you moved out here when you was younger then? So was your mom? You were with your mom?
From Asbury?
Yeah.
Yeah, we was 3. Yeah, I moved here when I was 3, so I've been here 52 years. Yeah, so I used to walk past it all the time. So I ended up building this house right here. It was an empty lot. You know what I mean? I got the empty lot from the city. It used to be a frat house there, and then it burnt down. So the city tore the house down and they just left the empty lot. So I'm riding by here. I said, man, I should inquire about that lot. So I inquired the city. He said, yeah, we own it. He said, but we can't just sell it to you. We got to put it up for auction. So they put it up for auction. The minimum bid was $3,000. And I was the only one that showed up.
So you got to put $3,000?
$3,001.
It was a beautiful house.
Yeah, 3001. So I built it in 2003. Built it from the ground up. You know what I mean? And it was something that we always wanted to do. I said, I'm gonna build my house.
We have enough gentrification has commenced enough, so much that the image or what you would consider Harlem once was, it's no longer that.
Yeah, gentrification and criminalization seem to kind of go hand in hand. But what I like to look at it from a business perspective, in our communities, you have 2 types of trade. You have the involuntary trade, and you have the voluntary trade. The involuntary trade, it says, you got something I want, I have no choice but to take it from you. And that's when the criminalization comes in. The voluntary trade says that we can create an atmosphere in our communities where businesses flourish, where we teach entrepreneurship to our kids, where we tell our kids that you can go up and be business owners. That's the difference. And when one doesn't work in the community, the other one sets in. This is what has happened in our community. I grew up in Trenton, New Jersey, and I talk about this in my book, From the Block to the Boardroom. Stuyvesant Avenue in Trenton, New Jersey, black folks owned every business on Stuyvesant. And it was about 11 of them. And I had an opportunity to be blessed to happily work for 4Gs, to happen to work for Clay's Bar when I was 16. That's another story. My mom over there, hi Mom. But that's a different story. But to have the opportunity as a young man to know what a black business owner looked like meant so much to me, because it stuck with my head, even in my foolishness. After close to 7 years in prison, I still had ingrained in my head what a black business owner looked like. So I can always aspire to be that. So we have to get back to that in our community. I'm the mentor and chairman of the board. Just actually resigned last week of the Minding Our Business program. And we've taught over 3,000 students in the Trenton Public Schools how to start and run their business. And we work with 6th and 7th graders. So we get them real early. It's almost like a Shark Tank atmosphere, whereas that we work with kids normally, and I've watched this over 20 years, that come into our classroom shy, don't want to work with other folks. But by the time we're finished with our course, they're not only working with a group, they're actually doing a PowerPoint presentation on their business. I've seen students over my 20-something year career doing this that are adults now, that are running their business. And just like you said, everybody's not going to college. Everybody don't want to go to college. But we have to give our kids and our students and our babies in these public schools options. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you said, when you grew up, we had options. I have a wood shop. I have vocational training. We had all those things in our school. They moved the vocational training out of Trenton. You know what I mean? So we got to bring these things back. So if you're moving the vocational schools out and you're not teaching entrepreneurship, only thing you're telling our kids is get a job. Go to school, graduate, go to college, get a job. Go to school, graduate, go to college, get a job. We're not teaching entrepreneurship in our communities, and we have to get back to doing that. When I grew up in the 70s, Stuyvesant Avenue, a lot of y'all know what Stuyvesant Avenue is. You know, we owned all the businesses on Stuyvesant. I worked for 2 or 3 of them. So I got an opportunity to see up close and personal what that looked like. Even though I went another route before I came back around to my senses, you know what I mean? I still had an opportunity to see what that looks like. A lot of our kids today don't go with that opportunity, and we have to continue to give them that opportunity in our communities.
I'm trying to mark that up because another thing that we need to have in our conversation is telling our children how to be supporters of themselves. Because when you go to the Jewish community, it's built community. And most of the Jewish dollars go to the Jewish money, Jewish community. The same thing in Chinatown. That's self-explanatory. Everything is in Chinatown. But our community, the only community is different. We have every kind of other vendor in there other than ourselves. But if you teach our children how to invest in yourself, spend your money with yourself, you know what I'm saying? I'm not mad when anybody open up a store. That doesn't mean I have to go in it. We have to show ourselves to be, to support and build our own community. This has to be a norm for us. And then our communities can grow and they can have something to be proud of, and and they become entrepreneurs.